All right, happy Friday, my queens. Okay, so as you're hopping on, let me know how your Friday is going and if you're ready to have an amazing weekend, because I know I am. And if you had any breakthroughs this week, I would love to know in the comments. But as you can see from the title, we're talking about why you're booking calls or in the DMs all day instead of enrolling from your content, okay? Because this is a thing. A lot of us, we are wasting a ton of time doing these things, like just because we don't actually believe that what we have is that important. Okay, and this is something that when I pivoted this completely, I not only attracted like committed clients, but I got my life back, okay? And I want you to do the same, because too many of us coaches, the reason why we're having to book all these calls and we're having to handle a ton of objections and we're spending so much time in the DMs is because we're not operating in our own authority, okay? We're not actually realizing that what we can do is not like anyone else, okay? Therefore, if we actually knew that, if we actually believed to our core that what we did, what we could transform in a client could not be done by another coach, like why are we wasting time trying to convince people or discounting what we offer when no one else can do what we can do? All right? I mean, literally, think about that. Okay, because when you actually get this, like it changes everything. And one of the posts that I made, I think I made it yesterday, but I was talking about how there's 3 new trends, and these trends I just started. But I was saying how coaches really need to stop posting and creating programs about the things that people literally could YouTube that topic. Okay, what are these topics? It's how to have the perfect feed, okay? How to talk to pain points, like all these generic topics. All right, yes, those can be very useful, but if someone can YouTube them, you don't need to be wasting your gift of time creating something around it, okay? And what does that allow you to do? That allows you to free up your time and create something that only you can do, something that has your voice in it, something that's from your wiring, that's also something from your gifts that God gave you, okay? When you do that, all right, you realize you are the only person ever in the world that can deliver the transformation just like you, because it like no one else can duplicate it because it's yours. Okay? So if you like, I want you to type in the comments like right now, like how much time do you actually spend on calls, or how much time do you actually spend in the DMs on a day-to-day basis, like for real? Okay, because I think that a lot of coaches aren't really honest about that. And I used to spend so much time in the DMs, okay? So much time. I'm not gonna lie, I did. I spent a ton of time. Now I don't. I don't spend a lot of time in the DMs because I've gotten my process so down to like a science that I don't need to do that, okay? And I'm not available to do that because I don't know, I view my time as very valuable, and I don't want to be doing things that I don't have to be doing if I truly believed in what I had to offer, okay? So how not to enroll people from your content is 1, being available in your DMs all the time, okay? Answering questions that you clearly said the answer to in your content, your website, and the link in your bio, like you said it in a video. Like, why are you answering those questions again and again in DMs? Don't do that, okay? When you do that, you're encouraging spoon feeding. You're encouraging people that are followers instead of leaders, okay? So stop doing that, all right? If you answered the question in your content, on your link in your bio, you don't need to answer that question in the DMs, okay? Number 2 is that you're posting just to be posting, okay? You don't actually believe that when you make a post, when you show up on live, that you will be making an enrollment from that, okay? Like if you feel like that's you right now, I want you to type a 1, because that used to be me. I used to show up all the time, post multiple times a day, and at the end of the day, still be spending so much time in my DMs and only making a couple enrollments maybe from it. Okay, and it was awful. Like, I hated that time period in my business. Like, it was like so bad, okay? So I don't want you to do that, okay? Because when you truly like switch your belief around this, it changes everything, okay? So if you find yourself right now spending a lot of time on your posts and then still spending a ton of the time in the DMs, and then spending a ton of time booking calls, and then spending your time trying to handle the objections to get them to enroll. Like, what is going on? Okay. Like, what is going on? Okay. There needs to be a shift. Okay. And this leads me to my next point, is the energetic shift around this stuff that has to happen in order for it to work, in order for the floodgates of paid in full clients and your soul clients to show up wanting to pay you, is that you have to know that when you make a post, like, not, how do I put this? I think, and this comes back to, like, you have to operate from your authority when you're building and making a post in general, because when you scroll on Instagram, 9 times out of 10, and I even have friends that are entrepreneurs that I don't want to say I unfollowed a lot of them, but some of them, it's like their content is like exactly the same. It's just like everyone else's. And it's like, oh my God, like, do you not know your voice? You need to know your voice. You would be so much more powerful if you stopped looking at everyone. Okay. So look at your page right now. I want you to ask yourself, your content, has your programs 100% came from your own truth? For real. Okay. Not like, oh, it's my voice or my experience or my own way of doing it. No, I want to know, is it actually yours? Okay. Was that the message God placed on your heart to create? Or are you just kind of gathering different things from different people and just okay, this is mine? Your results will literally tell you that, because the moment when you say yes fully to your own lane completely, I'm not saying just your own story, your own perspective, be you. I'm not saying any of that generic stuff. I'm saying when you fully say, this is what I'm called to create, this is what I'm creating, I don't care what other people are doing, I'm going all the way in this, and you show up in that zone, okay, you post differently. Okay, you're not talking about the things that everyone in your niche are talking about. Okay, you're going way deeper than that. Okay, and not only that, but the energy behind it is totally different than other people's, because other people, they're so surface level and they're gathering all this stuff from other pages and then making it their own, and when they post it, that's why they're spending hours trying to book a call or hours in the DMs, because what they had to say was not actually original or powerful. Okay, they just sound like every other coach. All right, they're just posting like every other coach, they're just perfecting their feed, and it's if you want to collapse time frames, if you want your post to enroll, if you want people to come to you and be I'm ready to invest into you now, where's the link? Then you have to stop looking left and right, and you have to change your energy around this stuff. Okay. It's too easy, not even too easy. It's the fact that, we all have these, I don't want to say messed up beliefs, but kind of, because the coaching industry has not even just the coaching industry, but online industry in general. It's it advertises create a business to have freedom to impact people. And then we all end up behind our phones and have no freedom because we're stuck in the DMs answering questions that could have just been solved if those people actually read the content. Okay. So if you just kind of change your standards around that, you're going to change who's going to invest into you. You're going to change how well a post does, because this is the thing, is if you are posting every day, okay, and I talked about this with one of my clients the other day, and I was if you're posting literally every day, even if you're posting 4 times a week, if you're showing up, all right, if you're showing up, if you're confident about your offer and your product, okay, and you have an amazing offer, you have the perfect bio, and you're showing up on your stories, you're showing the results, and you're talking, and you have no enrollments, or you're having to literally spend hours in the DMs, something's wrong, okay? Something is wrong, okay? And it's the fact that you still haven't realized your authority. You still haven't realized how powerful you are, and you still haven't realized your gifts, okay? Because when you do this, and I said this at the beginning of the video, but for you guys just hopping on, earlier I was talking about how when we realize we are the only one that can deliver, and we are the only one that can actually shift our client the way we've been called to shift them, Like, we're not trying to do all these things everyone else is doing because it's not, it doesn't apply to us because that's not our lane, okay? Like, it's so funny to me because too many of us were just like, oh, this coach is booking a ton of calls. Oh, this coach is hosting a free masterclass. Oh, this coach just updated her website. Oh, this coach is talking about all these pain points. Oh, this coach is doing all these things. And it's like, why? Why? Like, that coach is not you. That coach does not have your gift, because I promise you, if that coach was aware of her gifts, she wouldn't be doing half of the stuff she's doing because, like, she realized that she was super powerful. And I look like I just had spit, so I'm sorry. But when you really realize, like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one that can do this. Oh my gosh, this is my gift. And oh my gosh, like, why am I wasting all this time with people that clearly do not see how valuable this is? Okay? Like, and it's not in a conceited way. It's the fact that you have to get really good at knowing how important your time is. Okay? And you have to get really good at knowing that there's people in their power wanting to work in your energy space. You have to know to your core that your gift is so valuable that you know when that person is in your energy space, they're going to shift. Okay? And you have to know too that because you're a woman of power, you're going to attract women of power. And I don't know about you, but I know for me, if I want to work with someone, I make it happen. Okay, I'm not in their DMs asking them 10 million questions. Okay, if I resonate with their content, if I get on their live stream and like they touch a point to me, like just touch something in my soul that I needed to hear, then I go to their link and I purchase their product or program, or I DM them and ask them, how do I pay you? How do I enroll with you? Okay, I don't need them to waste their time in their DMs, okay? I don't need them to, like, chase me. So why do we feel the need that we have to get on calls with people and handle, like, their insecurities before they enroll with us? And nothing's wrong with calls. If that's what you love to do it. All right? I don't love doing that, okay? Like, I'll do it for invested clients and I'll do it if I feel like we should do a call, but I don't put that as I have to do that because I feel like it's been a lot of wasted time for me in the past. Even if people enrolled, it was like I was answering questions that I already answered and I didn't need to re-answer. Okay, so you got to get into the habit of like, this is my business, this is what I stand for. If I kick ass in content, like, why in the world do I feel the need that I have to re-answer those things over and over and over again? I don't. I really don't. Okay? Like, I don't. And you don't either. Okay? And you have to get into the habit of knowing there's people in their power that aren't looking for you to spoon feed them to make a decision. All right? They're looking to be expanded. Okay? They're looking to be in your energy space. And when you know that, when you embody that, you give them a chance to rise up and do it. But if not, if you're constantly like, oh, let me build this relationship first, let me ask all these questions first. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I get so tired. I mean, I can really feel if someone's genuine, but I get really tired of people that come into my DMs and ask me like surface level questions that you know for a fact that they're just doing that so that they can eventually make the offer. Like, I'm a coach, I know that. So don't try that on me. Like, anyone else feel that? Because like, I'm to the point where I'm just like, really, like, I know where you're going with this, okay? If you're trying to build a genuine relationship, that's great, okay? But I can really tell if you're just like asking me questions to get to the offer, okay? And when you're a coach, you have to really learn how to hold your standards. Like, stop getting distracted in all these side conversations. Stop getting distracted on doing these random things because you're just randomly seeing every other person do them. Know that there's people right now that are ready to invest into you. There's people right now that want to be in your energy space. There's people right now that don't need to be spoon-fed. And there's people right now that love you and want to work with you. All right? But you repel them if you are constantly the one doing all the conversations in the DMs, constantly feeling that, holding the energy that you have to book a call and handle their objections before they enroll. Like, you're projecting your own insecurities onto them, okay? So the moment you shift that and you're just like, you know what, if I don't need a call to enroll with someone, why do they need one? They don't, okay? Like, if you're like, I'm someone that if I really love someone's content, I'm going to figure out how to work with them, then you put the energy out, yeah, people can rise up and work with me. Okay, if you know, I don't actually ever need someone to ask me a whole bunch of questions in order for me to be sold. Like, I can look at their content and their videos and like be in, then you know that you can do that too. Okay, so it's like, you just have to learn to shift your belief around that. And I really encourage you to like look at what you're doing every day. Like, if you're showing up, making a post about your business or your offer, your product every day, if you're showing up in your stories every day, if you're creating a live stream every day, and you're still having to deal with all of the stuff in the DMs or on calls, like, look, like, you gotta realize a shift needs to happen. Okay, too many of us, we get caught in this vicious cycle of like, post for my business, go live for my business, book the calls, heal myself a little more until I can eventually make the income. And it's like, no. What if you were just like, you know what, it's available now, there's people ready right now, let me show up for that right now. Changes everything, okay? Your results don't have to take a long time. It really just comes down to, what are you willing to believe is available for you? What are you willing to rise above? What are you willing to shift? And are you actually really, really willing to stand in your authority and know that your gifts aren't like anyone else's? Okay? And that is the most comforting, scary, and amazing feeling ever, because you go from feeling like, okay, I have to look at what these coaches are doing, to I can't look at those people because they don't have what I have. All right, if I'm looking at those people, it's not going to help me. It's not, okay? And I know that there are so many people online, and especially coaches, like trying to go viral for reels, like sharing educational content, but like you get into this hamster wheel of like posting all this stuff, and like, because it's not your own message, you fall into the crowd and like no one notices you. You might get the views, but like you're not getting paid in full clients, because you're not actually sharing value that no one else has shared. You're just sharing everyone else's message, and that's passive, okay? It doesn't move people. All right, so if you want to get off of this vicious cycle of feeling like you have to add more value every day, like the vicious cycle of you have to talk to one more person, people have to trust you a little bit more, to, you know what, you're enough right now, your gifts are like no one else's right now, like ever, like your gifts are just for you, like your voice is just yours, like your energy is different than anyone else's, therefore you can't look at anyone else's lane because you have your own, and going into their lane is not going to help you move forward. Okay, that's what collapses time frames, because you go from swerving into other people's lanes, trying to do what they're doing, like going in all these random directions, okay, to I'm in my own lane. I'm taking off because no one else is like me, and my energy moves people, and I'm that powerful, and my voice is that transformational, and I collapse time frames that way because no one else can duplicate me, because I'm me. It's a huge shift. Okay, so if you're tired of doing all these things like that are wasting your time and you're not seeing the results from it, like if you're seeing the results from all these things, like great, I'm happy for you. But I know for me, I was not seeing the results that I wanted to see, so I had to pivot. Okay, so if that's you and you've been doing all these things and you don't want to be doing all those things, and you want to trust yourself, you want to trust your content, you want to have an aligned strategy that is not burning you out, that allows you to have time off, that allows you to make higher ticket commissions, allows you to have paid in full soul clients, and actually create offers that are aligned with your gifts, then I want you to send me a DM, okay? I'm working with one more woman one-to-one the next couple of months to align her offers, shift her content, create a workflow, and step into her unleashed power, okay? And with my one-on-one programs, I have a few different options, but you have access to all of my courses, and we have a VIP day. You have access to my Voxer, and we do a coaching call every week. So it's going to be incredible. All right. So I'm telling you, if you're sick of doing all these things that everyone else is doing and you're really ready to learn how to actually operate in your own lane and dominate, let's chat. Okay. Your desires don't have to take a long time. It just comes down to what are you willing to shift and believe about yourself. All right. Because it is available to you. I promise. All right. So I love you and we'll chat soon.